What's up, guys? So today's video should be pretty short unless I think of something to say as the video progresses, but from what I think, there's not really much else to talk about. We can start off with Netflix. Netflix had some pretty good earnings, so congratulations to everyone who took calls. Let's go ahead and just start right with the SP500, the SPY. Essentially, I went long here at resistance. We took calls here at resistance. I was saying that this is the type of setup that ends up gapping above this level of resistance, and that's exactly what happened. We had a very, very beautiful very beautiful opening today, and over 2%. So it was pretty good. And then we ended up just basically holding 371, and 371 was the make or break bull bear line that I was mentioning today as the stream ended. So some interesting stuff essentially going on. When you look at the bonds wicked down, made new lows, ended up turning green. All right. The dollar is continuing to fall a bit. All right. So when the dollar falls, once again, it's good for the stock market. And when the bond shows strength or holds support, it is also good for the stock market. So we want to see the bonds being green and strong. All right. Intraday, what was interesting to see was that the IWM began trading at the upper level of the Bollinger Band. So that acted as a very, very interesting level of resistance, because if you begin trading outside of the upper level of the Bollinger Band, then what that shows is that we are algorithmically overextended to the upside. So, essentially, we're going to have to see how these earnings affect the market. And that is going to be a pretty big indication of where the IWM is going to go and where the NASDAQ and where the SPY is going to go. Especially with Tesla earnings. I think Tesla earnings will be not a huge, it's not Apple or it's not Amazon and things like that. But Tesla in and of itself is a pretty big proponent. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out tomorrow. Overall, the SPY, in my opinion, needs 371. This is not a bullish situation, but we are up in the after hours, primarily probably because of Netflix. So yeah, I mean, technically things are looking, from a technical standpoint, the indicators look very, very strong. All right. This is still looking like it has a lot of explosive move to the upside. So that would, it does make sense that people still are targeting 380. But here's the thing, essentially, it makes more sense as we get closer to 380 to become more bearish. All right. So hopefully we do end up. So hopefully everyone that is holding on to calls, I really, really hope that we end up, opening up green and everything like that. Everyone could profit off the calls at the open, blah, blah, blah. But this, as we get closer to 380, the risk reward to being long is not as favorable. It was more favorable being long down here when the risk reward was more favorable. Does that make sense? So currently, this is still technically, we're in a range, all right, between 380 and 348 basically. So yeah, if we can get a close and break above 380, then sure, we can be more short-term bullish, all right? But this is not the best bullish candle. If you look at the NASDAQ, same concept. We held support, but this is obviously not the most bullish candle. And the IWM, same concept. So it's just going to be very, very interesting to see where we go. Taking a look at Bitcoin, clearly also not the most bullish candle, right? So, and we can take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is taking a tumble. So, lots of interesting stuff. I am very interested in BTU. I want to see some more weakness out of the overall market, and we're going to take some leaps on BTU. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And there's really not much else to talk about. We just have to see how earnings affect the overall market. And basically 371 just needs to hold as support. We came back and filled the gap intraday, right? And that was basically the bottom of the market. We were long here, and we worked out pretty well. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else to really talk about. We're seeing the bonds starting to show some strength. The dollar is continuing to show weakness. Overall, that should be good for the stock market. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.